Still getting caught out in the open or picked off the second you pick a corner in Arena Breakout? Movement is key to staying alive. I'm breaking down techniques from the essential crouch lean to a shockingly effective b-hopping trick most players ignore. That will make you a far more unpredictable target. Which movement technique reigns supreme? Let's immediately find out. Starting with crouch leaning. This is your go-to move for picking angles without screaming your free loot. Here's the core idea. Crouching makes you a smaller target, and leaning adds another layer of unpredictability, forcing your enemy to adjust their aim. There are two ways to do this, manually or with the auto ADS while leaning setting. For maximum control, I recommend learning the manual method. To do it manually, aim down sights first, then quickly crouch and lean almost simultaneously. Aim to press both buttons at virtually the same time. It'll come with practice. It might feel awkward at first. Practice in the firing range, starting slowly and gradually increasing your speed. Find your rhythm. Now, about that auto ADS while leaning setting, you can find it in the basic settings. It does simplify things. You automatically ADS when you lean. But, and this is important, it limits your versatility. You'll be forced to ADS, which isn't ideal for close quarters combat where hipfire is often faster. I usually only use this setting with weapons that have terrible hipfire accuracy, like the FAL. See how I used the crouch lean to quickly pick that corner and get the drop on that enemy? He barely had time to react. Here, I'm not even shooting. I'm using the crouch lean to safely gather information about enemy positions without fully exposing myself. This is what happens when you don't use the crouch lean. I'm a huge target and I get punished immediately. Mastering the crouch lean is essential for survival in Arena Breakout. It's your foundation. Master this and everything else becomes easier. Practice it, make it second nature, and you'll see a huge improvement in your gameplay. Next up, we'll build on this foundation with jiggle peeking, an even safer way to get intel. Jiggle leaning. This is all about getting information without exposing yourself to unnecessary risk. Think of it as a super fast peek, designed to bait shots and reveal enemy positions. The core idea is simple. Lean out, then immediately return to cover. You're barely showing your shoulder, forcing the enemy to react. This is far safer than a slow, wide peek. To jiggle lean left or right, and instantly return to your original position. Use your movement joystick to help snap back into cover faster and repeat this rapidly. Many players use hold to lean for this, as releasing the button automatically returns you to center. I personally prefer the manual method for more control, but it's up to you. Experiment and see what feels best. Watch how I use the jiggle peek to draw fire without taking damage. He wasted ammo, and I now know exactly where it is. Here, I'm not trying to bait a shot. I'm using the jiggle peek to repeatedly check an angle, getting a quick glimpse each time to see if anyone is pushing. This is what happens when you peek too slowly or too wide. I'm exposed for too long and I pay the price. The jiggling is a masterclass in information gathering and risk management. It's not just about baiting shots. It's about controlling the engagement and staying one step ahead of your opponent. Practice this and you'll be amazed at how much safer you feel picking corners. Now, let's move on to a technique that is perfect to use while roaming the map. The zigzag. Zigzagging. This is about making yourself a harder target to hit when you have to move across open ground or through high traffic areas. The core idea is simple. Never run in a straight line. Why does this work? Because most players aim predictably. They anticipate where you'll be, not where you are right now. Zigzagging throws off that prediction. To zigzag, move your joystick left and right in a rhythmic pattern, like a gentle S-curve. Aim for roughly the 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock positions, adjusting for your joystick size and preference. The key is subtlety. Don't overdo it. You don't need to zigzag constantly, but use it strategically when crossing open areas, moving between cover, or navigating high traffic zones. See how I used the zigzag to dodge that sniper shot? Running straight would have been a death sentence. Here, I'm using the zigzag to close the distance on an enemy while minimizing my exposure. This is what happens when you run in a straight line. I'm an easy target, and I get punished instantly. Zigzagging is a fundamental movement skill in Arena Breakout. It's not a guaranteed way to avoid all damage, but it dramatically increases your chances of survival when you're exposed. Make it a habit and you'll be surprised how many bullets you don't take. Next up, we have a very useful move, especially because there is no free look. Jump turn. Arena Breakout doesn't have a free look feature, which can be frustrating when you need to check your surroundings while moving. That's where the jump turn comes in. It's a quick, effective way to get a 360-degree view without stopping or slowing down too much. Here's the key. When you jump turn, you're only exposing your lower body for a fraction of a second. Most players aim for center mass, chest, or head. By jump turning, you're making it much harder for them to land a critical shot. To perform a jump turn, jump, and while in the air, quickly turn your camera in the direction you want to look, landing facing that new direction. It's crucial to be quick and decisive with your turn. This isn't for leisurely sightseeing, it's for rapid information gathering. See how I use the jump turn to quickly check that corner without fully committing? I get the info that I need without becoming an easy target. This is what happens when you're too slow or too predictable. I'm a sitting duck and I get punished. The jump turn is a powerful tool for situational awareness in Arena Breakout. It's not a replacement for careful positioning and cover, but it gives you a way to gather information quickly and safely in situations where you'd otherwise be vulnerable. Practice the timing and you'll be amazed at how much aware you've become. Next, we have a fundamental yet difficult to perfect move, B-hopping. B-hopping isn't just jumping. It's about creating a rhythm that throws off your enemy's timing and sound perception. Think of it as a controlled, continuous series of jumps timed perfectly to minimize your ground contact and the sound you make. It is not the same as a jump turn. Jump turn is information. B-hopping is for pushing. The key is to hit jump right as you land, maintaining your forward momentum. It's tricky to master, but B-hopping offers significant advantages. It reduces your sound profile compared to sprinting, throws off enemy aim with its up and down motion, and can even maintain or increase your speed. To B-hop, start sprinting, jump, and then jump again the instant you land, repeating this with a consistent rhythm. It takes practice. You'll likely mess up the timing at first, resulting in awkward, slow jumps. Don't give up. Head to the training grounds and keep practicing until you can consistently maintain your speed and minimize your ground contact. Factors such as weight and stamina do play a role. Here's an example of how B-hopping can be used to aggressively push an enemy position. Notice how the player maintains speed and makes it harder for the opponent to track them. B-hopping is an advanced technique, and I'll be honest, it's rare to see it used effectively in Arena Breakout. But that's exactly why it's so powerful. Drop shotting. It's exactly what it sounds like. You drop to instantly move your hitbox where you take damage below your enemy's crosshair. Think of it as a panic move. A last-ditch effort to survive when you're caught out in the open with no cover. In Arena Breakout, unlike some other shooters, drop shotting has significant drawbacks. You're immobile while prone, making you an easy target if it fails, and getting back up takes time, leaving you vulnerable. Only when you're caught out in the open with no cover, the enemy is already shooting at you, and you have no other option to escape. Here, I'm caught completely off guard. My only chance is to drop shot, and it works. I take damage, but I survive and win the fight. This is what happens when a drop shot fails. I'm stuck on the ground, an easy target, and I get eliminated immediately. The drop shot is a high risk, high reward maneuver. It can save your life in a desperate situation, but it shouldn't be your go-to move. Prioritize cover, good positioning, and the other movement techniques we've covered. Mastering those will keep you alive far more often than relying on the drop shot. To truly dominate, though, movement is only half the battle. This video shows you how to combine it with instant, deadly accuracy to win more close-range fights.